Pickle, let's go to the hotline. It's Tuesday, and actually this might be the last one of the year.
No.
We're pleased to be joined by the Texas High School Football Hall of Famer, the host of the Craig Way Show, 2 to 4 p.m. on AM 1300 The Zone, and a man coming to us, I believe, from his truck on the way to the airport. We're pleased to be joined by Craig Way. Mr. Way, how are you?
I'm good. Not quite yet in the truck, but going to leave soon. Are you more pleased that you're pleased to be joined by me, or more pleased that this is probably the last time?
No.
Pleased to be joined.
Pleased to be joined. Yes, absolutely.
Okay. Right.
Absolutely.
Just want to make sure.
For sure.
That's okay.
Before we get into football things, I want to talk about what you did this past weekend, because and I don't know what you did Friday. Maybe you had something on Friday, but I know that Saturday into Sunday was amongst the most insane stretch of work that I think I've ever heard anybody do. Can you take people through what your weekend was like?
Well, it was, you have things on a list that you kind of knock out. I drove up on Friday early afternoon with my wife Linda, and we went straight to AT&T Stadium, and I did my regular daily show that you mentioned here on Sports Radio AM 1300 The Zone in Austin. Mm-hmm. I did that from 2 to 4. And then we went to the hotel. We actually had a nice dinner together and all that sort of thing. I got up about 6 a.m. on Saturday, and we went over to Jerry World and prepared for and called the Big 12 football championship game on radio with the Texas Longhorns beating the Oklahoma State Cowboys to win the Big 12 in their final ever year in the Big 12 and all that entails, and the celebrations and all that stuff. Got off the air with that about 4:15. Zipped back over to the hotel, changed clothes, then went over to the Valley Studios, and Gary Reasons and I called South Lake Carroll's 56-7 demolition of Byron Nelson Saturday night, and then you and Aaron Hardigan and I did Scoreboard Live Saturday night. Got back to the hotel between 12:30 and 1, I guess, and then we were back out of the hotel at 8 a.m. and drove down to Austin, and then called the Texas women basketball team with their 12-point and at times dominant performance to beat perennial giant UConn in front of a sellout crowd. They beat them 80-68, and it was definitely an impressive win for them, and it was the first ever win for Texas over UConn. They'd gone 0-10 against them all time, so that was pretty important. And as we speak right now, I'm getting ready to head to the airport, and I'll fly to Milwaukee with the Longhorn men's basketball team. They play Marquette. That's right, the same Marquette that's coached by Shaka Smart, who used to coach Texas. That'll be tomorrow night in the Big East Big 12 battle. And then we do it all over again with this weekend with football with Liberty Hill and Fort Neches Groves Friday night on Valley Sports Southwest. And then Saturday we do the scoreboard. Aren't we also recording a state championship preview show on Sunday morning? I think it is.
I think it's Sunday, 10 a.m.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So 'tis the season, right?
Oh my
God, Lord!
Because that was the thing that really put it over the top for me. Because you've had busy Saturdays, right, where you've had to do Texas and then go and come up and do scoreboard. But the addition of calling a high school game, and then like the real under the radar part of it was the fact that you had to call a massive women's college basketball game on Sunday. Yeah, okay. I hope you slept well. That's all I'm saying. I hope you're getting sleep.
I got a little bit of sleep Sunday night, so we're okay. We're good to go.
It is state semifinal weekend across the state of Texas, and so there are 40 UIL 11-man Texas high school football teams left, not to mention Westbrook and Gordon, as well as Oglesby, a first-timer, and Benjamin, who are already through the state championship games. My question for you, Craig, of the 40 teams that are left, I might have asked you this last week, and maybe your answer is the same. Of the 40 teams, which are you most surprised that we're talking about this week?
I continue to stick with Brownsville Veterans Memorial, and I'm going to keep standing by. You made a really good point. We were talking about the deepest run they'd ever made. Actually, right now, it ties the deepest run as you researched. Brownsville had in 1951, but I think for context here, that was in the years of an 8-team bracket. Mm-hmm. So they won one game to get to the Final Four. It's safe to say this is this year. More playoff games have been won by any Brownsville ISD school in the history of the school district. That's a safe thing, having won 4 games to this point. Can they win a 5th? I don't know. Smith and Valley, so solid. what a great job Larry Hill does with that program. It's going to be a difficult challenge, no matter how it turns out. It's a great story, and the irony was not lost on you that they came back to win that game over Corpus Christi Miller last week, did Vets Memorial, and here they are playing in Miller's home stadium this week against Smithson. I think that's the number one story in the state. And I asked you about this. I think there's some other intriguing stories this year in the state. One of them is Sunray, who you had your eye on early on. The question is, can they do it against Albany this week? I think that's an interesting story. Obviously, Gilmer's shocking win, the way that thing unfolded in overtime against Carthage, and then the other one has to be. I know we've taken them for granted, maybe, and that's amazing to consider about a DISD team. But here's South Oak Cliff. They won back-to-back state titles, and look it up. Here they are in the Final Four again. So those are three that really stand out to me.
Talking Craig Way, the Texas High School Hall of Famer here on Texas Football Today. Get involved in the conversation at hashtag TF Today. Craig, we may not talk again before the state championship game, so I do want to make sure we talk a little bit about the two games that are set. With Westbrook taking on Gordon in the 1A Division I state championship game that'll kick it all off Wednesday morning. I believe you're going to be on the call with that. As well as 1A Division II with Benjamin back to defend their crown against Oglesby. I'm starting to dig in and do my research on these games, and what I find most fascinating about I think both of these games is, for all we talk about six-man football and the high-octane offenses and the wide-open spread and these 70-yard touchdown runs, back and forth basketball on turf. Craig, I'm looking at these two six-man games, and I'm like, are these going to be two defensive slugfests? Because it seems like for almost basically all four of these teams, you could make the real argument that the defense may be the superior part of their teams.
Yeah, you had a 32-16 game last week. Have that. It kind of reminds me of doing some six-man games in the 90s where I had Whit Harrell winning over Milford, and I think it was like 30-20 was the final in that. And there are some games like that. I think Westbrook we've seen all year long have defense. Gordon is really impressed with what they've done. Coach Reed, of course, a disciple of Nelson Campbell and those great Gordon teams of the 90s. Oglesby, I know, is surprised some folks. Benjamin just crushes people, so they get a lot of points normally, but their defense is getting stops. And by the way, what is this? Year 7, year 8 for Grayson Rigdon? I mean, it seems like I've been calling his games for. He's a senior now, I'm sure. So it was from him winning a state title, at Strawn, to now being at Benjamin. It's pretty impressive to see.
Quick fact check on Craig Way: he is not a senior; he is a junior. So. Enjoy
God, I've been calling his game forever.
Well,
he's
been winning. He's been winning state championships forever. Yeah, there are some guys that now they show up again. You're like, man, Caleb Bailey's starting to feel that way for me at North Shore. Like he's a junior, but you're like, oh no, you started a state championship game as a freshman and won it. So
DeCorian
Moore's up there too. But golly, you feel like I've been talking about him for half my life.
Jack Kaiser.
Oh, yeah. Oh, man. Jack Kaiser. Yeah. There's a number of these guys that are lodged in my frontal cortex. He's Craig Way. He's the Texas High School Hall of Famer. All right, Craig, I am going to put you on the spot here a little bit. We are about to announce the 10 finalists for the Mr. Texas Football Player of the Year award, and it's decided by the Dave Campbell's Texas football staff. The reigning Mr. Texas Football, Terry Bussey, there at Tempson. We talk about it as a staff. I know I've talked to you in the past about it just to gauge because you're a person whose high school football opinions we really value. If you had a vote for the Mr. Texas Football Player of the Year, is there one guy that stands out to you that you go, he would get my vote?
Not yet.
Okay.
Not yet. There's too many guys, I think, who are still out there playing right now. And I want to see how the West Coast projections come in. This is the part where you hit the late night thing. This is where we need Steve Kornacki, pointing up and down the board, going, if you take a look at this, you look at Jack Kaiser here, but he's got it, and you look over here and you see DJ Bailey, and you look over here. I mean, there's several, I think, really good candidates on that. So I don't know how you guys are seeing it yet, and you guys ultimately have to make the decision. But I would not be able to make this decision this week.
It's time for the rudest thing we do to each other. Believe you're going to do it to me on your show a little bit later. It is going to give you 3 games, state semifinals. There are only 20 of them, so you have to teleport. You get to teleport to one of these 3 games. Are you heading to? And actually, you know what? Yeah. Are you heading to 2:00 Saturday at Allen's Eagle Stadium as DeSoto takes on South Lake Carroll? Are you heading to Abilene on Saturday or Friday evening to watch Gunner versus Canadian Volume 7, or on Thursday in Vernon, a little bit of a businessman special, 5 p.m., as Stratford takes on Toller? Which of those 3 games are you teleporting to?
Wow. And you left off Brock Malakoff.
I did.
Which I think is just going to be, here comes that phrase, taffy pull on that one. But I would probably go Stratford Toller.
Mm-hmm.
I saw the computer as it was a 1 point maybe Toller favorite. Stratford has just been so impressive what they do, and Toller's been steamrolling people, and talk about defenses as well.
Mm-hmm.
So I'd probably pick that one. I really would. I think South Lake Carroll and DeSoto can be, to use your word, pointsy.
Mm-hmm.
But I would probably lean toward Stratford Toll. And by the way, Canadian Gunner is just, you just punch your ticket, go back. Hey, see you next year.
Yeah.
Because it's good theater every year, no question about it.
He's Craig Way. He's the Texas High School Football Hall of Famer. You can hear him on AM 1300 The Zone in Austin, 2 to 4 p.m. on the Craig Way Show, as well as you can hear him on the call of Texas and Marquette basketball tomorrow, and you can see him calling Port Neches, Groves, and Liberty Hill on Friday on Bally Sports, and then on High School Scoreboard Live Saturday night. But as we get ready for the states, wrap up the state semifinals. Craig, appreciate your time, my friend, and get some sleep.
Hey, we'll look forward to it. You guys take care.
All right, there he goes, Craig Way, the Texas High School Hall of Famer, for his probably his final visit here on the
Sad day.
for 2023, right? Because we're not gonna have another Tuesday show.
No, we do not.
So there you go. Bye, Craig.
Sad.
It's okay. You can just text him whenever, or if you just miss him. Now you have his phone number. You can just call him.
Yeah.
He'd be happy to talk with you. Not me.
Yeah, but I like when the people get to hear Craig.
That's true. I do too. Anyway, we appreciate Craig Way, as always.
Thanks so much for watching that video. If you would like more and to be notified when they come out, go ahead and click that subscribe button right down there. You can also watch Texas Football Today every day live at noon on TexasFootball.com, Facebook, Twitch, and right here on YouTube. For more of the best coverage of Texas football in the Lone Star State, go to TexasFootball.com/subscribe.